What's up, anglers? Welcome back to another episode of Who's Your Angler. I'm your boy Brooklyn, and that's my family. Everybody say what's up. Hey.
What's up? Yeah. Let's go. Who's your angler? What's your story now? Brooklyn got the skills, hear the whispers in the crowd. Yeah, cast your line, let the truth take hold. Jesus got the gifts, feeding hearts never cold. Who's your angler? What's your story now? Brooklyn got the skills, hear the whispers in the crowd. Yeah, cast your line, let the truth take hold. Jesus got the gifts, feeding hearts never cold.
They're in today for the holidays, and this episode is probably going to air way later after Christmas, after New Year's. So y'all, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. But we're going to be doing some work on the boat for now. Shout out Uncle Brad. He came in guns blazing. He brought me a welder. Check that out. What y'all think about that? That's cool. Yeah. So we're gonna be making a lot of mistakes with that in the future. Burning some holes through some metal. But yeah, today we're just gonna fool around on the boat, see what we can't get done. I'm gonna put you on a time lapse so y'all can watch, and we'll catch up with y'all later. Woo. Before we dive into this whole episode, let's take a look back at what we did to the boat last. All right, anglers, we were lucky enough to get our truck bed liner second quart in, and I'm gonna take some time now to apply those 2 coats. Hopefully we can get this done rather quickly. I still wasn't able to pick up like the correct brush head for this, so we're still gonna be using these here. Don't use these. I already know if you do use these, you end up losing a lot of the material or the liquid paint or whatever viscous liquid that's in here in the brush head itself. It soaks up a lot of it. So, and I meant to keep the other one because it hardened, and that would have been closer to using the sponge type textured mesh type brush head that they want you to use with this type product. So if you do use that, or if you do plan on using this, get the correct brush head, save yourself a little bit of time and headache. Either way, I only want 2 more coats of this on here. I know that this is plenty to do 2 coats on here because I don't have to do the ridges, these rough ridges again on the boat. I just need to paint the whole thing. So we're gonna knock out a couple of layers, and then this bottom of the boat will be done. We'll be able to move on to the next stages. So let's get stuck in and get ready for this. Okay, we knocked out that 1 coat now, and it went on pretty thick, and I looked at how much we have left in the pint, and we have enough to do definitely another layer, and then whatever's left over after that, maybe we'll hit the edges and the hot spots one more time with that. But I'm gonna use every drop of what I can out of that can. So we need to let this cure for a minimum of 2 to 4 hours before we jump into the next coat. So we gotta let this dry, and in the meantime, I'm going to edit because we need to get a video out too.
2,000 years later.
All right, so it's been long enough. It is dry to the touch, and I'm gonna put a second coat on. And if you were worried about whether or not I had ventilation, I did run ventilation in the house, and this is what it looks like right now. There's a fan up in it, blow air from straight across the boat right out of the house. So, but because I've already done 3 coats on camera, I'm not gonna make you watch this coat here. I'm just gonna apply it, and we'll be done with this stage, unless I want to do a final coat or have extra left over, and then I'll just apply that, and then we'll be done with the stage. So, yeah.
A few inches later.
All right, just put the second coat on, or I should say the 4th coat now on the boat, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think we will stop here. I do have enough left to do something else, and we'll see if I use it for that. For now, I'm not gonna put any more on there. We're just gonna leave it at 4 coats.
One eternity later.
It's been several hours, and I'm so curious to see how this line comes out when I peel this tape. I'm gonna do a piece and just see. Let's go back to where we were working with my family. I think we're gonna jump right into a time lapse. We are working with a 50-gallon drum. The hope was to transform it into some wheel wells. We cut it and then decided to move on to other part of the project. I told y'all it was Christmas, right? My friend of mine, Lily, just dropped this off. She brought me some goodies, some Christmas candy cane type stuff, some pretzels. Thank you, Lily, shout out. After some deliberation with Uncle Brad and Mark and a little bit of input from Big John, one of the things that has been slowing me down on the boat build is, one, having access to tools. Remember, this is supposed to be a budget bass boat build, so everything I'm doing, I'm not trying to buy the tools or trying to get borrowed, this, that, and the other. But the trailer itself has never had the actual, like, permanently attached to it. And it's also longer than what I need for a John boat. So I had tossed around ideas about building a camper on the trailer instead of using it for the John boat. Tossed around ideas about finishing it out for like a regular sized boat and just selling it separate from the John boat trailer. But ultimately, all that would just push the project further and further down the line. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger and make some of the decisions to shorten the trailer itself so that it's a better length for a John boat. So what we're doing right now, Mark, my dad, and my uncle are marking out the section that we're going to cut out. Yeah, and remove that and eventually weld back together so that it'll be a shorter trailer and a better size for the John boat. So one of the things that I've also been toying with and questioning is how to deal with this winch. And Uncle Brad and I just came up with a really interesting way to kind of forego and or delete this part of it, because these bolts will bolt directly up to the neck, and that'll drop the height of this, because when it's on that, it's actually too high for the John boat. So we were toying around earlier how we could get that apart, but now I think we'll be able to bolt that directly to the trailer, and that will fix that height issue altogether. Let's check it out. So this is what we're talking about. putting that. Now it won't go exactly there because we got to have room for the jack still, but
measurements yet.
yeah, but we're just kind of getting an eyeball idea of where it might set.
Good night, man.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
That's a perfect idea. That's perfect.
The top of your boat was right here somewhere.
And like I said, I was telling y'all that this weld, I wasn't in love with this weld, so I wasn't looking forward to putting this piece on the boat again, or back on the trailer. But we'll keep it for the person who purchases the boat. If they want to fool with it, they can have it. All right, so we cut that bracket off on the back, and I'm gonna make my first attempt at welding. In the longest of times.
You gotta weld this first.
So I'm gonna try to weld this here. It's gonna get welded. Weld is gonna happen. Quality wise, that'll be my first guess and yours too. Here's a close-up of my very first weld. It is horrible, but for a beginner,
That ain't bad.
that ain't bad if you ask me.
You're gonna take that grinder now. You're gonna take that grinder and clean all that up. That's what you need to do, is take that grinder and clean it all up, and then you'll see the empty spots. You can go over it again. It'll work.
We finished what we could on the boat trailer. Big thank you to Uncle Brad and my stepdad, Mark, for helping me work out some of the needed details for this part of the project. This John boat to bass boat build has been a real challenge. The next day was a day to remember. Thanks to my mother, I had the pleasure of taking my sons fishing for Christmas, and we were on the hunt for some big ones. Ken Dawg took us out to his favorite spot for red fishing. Boy, did we have an amazing time. From the moment we arrived, a stranger immediately called my youngest over to help pull in a massive black drum.
Got it. Keep pulling. Look at him. Look at him. Go fish. Got it. Oh. Come on. Get it. Come on, walk a little closer. Walk a little closer. There we go. Your stomach. Yep. Woo. Dang. Got him. Woo! Give me 5. That's what I'm talking about.
After that, it was every angler for themselves. I believe everybody hooked up on something big that day. My oldest got a big fish.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a drum. It's a drum.
It's a drum.
Don't matter. Come on over here.
Ooh, that's a big one.
From behind Look at that boy.
He got a big one.
That boy big.
I told you gotta use crab, bro.
Yeah. That boy big.
My oldest catch measured out somewhere around 30 plus inches. Super proud. Shortly after that, my youngest hooked up yet again, and this time it was a massive catfish.
Reel him in. Faster, faster, faster. Go, 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 go. Ooh. There you go. Get him in, get him in. Go get the net.
Wouldn't you know, this hookup happened while I was at the gas station. Thanks, Big Ken Dawg. Every hookup he had, he gave to my boys. What a real trooper. As for me, I had another nice fight of my own. I ended up landing a nice sized black drum.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. And if you aren't subscribed, please consider doing so now. And as I always say, be blessed, and we'll catch you next time.
Never cold. Who's your wrangler? What's your story now? Brooklyn got the skills, hear the whispers in the crowd.